Jazzcast Pros.
Hello, and welcome to episode 180. I want to start with a quote. Every moment is a fresh beginning by T.S. Eliot. And if you have heard this quote before, please make sure that you send me a note and let me know what your thoughts are. So, every moment is a fresh beginning by T.S. Eliot. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about new beginnings because it is a brand new year. So, I am going to share with you 7 actionable steps to embrace new beginnings. This is something that I want you to pull out a new journal because it is the beginning of the year. And I want you to have an amazing 2025. There's really not a order to these steps. Just pick the one that you resonate with the most and start taking action today. Hello, Fearless Warriors. Welcome to Fearless Fridays with Marianne, the podcast where real talk meets real transformation. I am your host, Dr. Marianne Rivera Dannert, and with over 10 years as a life coach, author, speaker, and trainer, I will be guiding you on this journey of healing, growth, and empowerment. Each week, we dive into raw, authentic conversations about life's challenges, victories, and everything in between. Together, we'll hear your inner child, build unshakable confidence, and unlock the fearless you that's been waiting to shine. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's take the next step towards the life that you deserve. This is your safe space, your community, and your call to be limitless because it's time to be free, fearless, and fabulous. Welcome, 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 and hello to 2025. So, new beginnings, how to embrace them with courage, grace, and purpose. So, every ending is a chance for a fresh start because we are able to pause and look at what worked and what did not work, and we can make changes and move forward. Fear and uncertainty can often hold us back, but every new beginning is an opportunity to rewrite your story. And it does not matter what that story is. It could be something as simple as changing your hair color, or it can be something as serious and drastic that recently happened to me, which was that my Facebook account was hacked. So, long story short, and I'm not even really sure if it is a long story or a short story, but here's the backstory. I posted something, it was actually on December 19th, and I will never forget that day for numerous reasons, but most importantly, because that is when my oldest son was born. And I remember that I posted something on Facebook, stop what you're doing and wish my oldest son, the one that made me a mom, a happy birthday. And people left and right, family, friends, acquaintances, started wishing him a happy birthday. And it was early in the morning, and I made sure to, tag him, obviously. And when I went back to look at the responses and things like that, I got a notification from Facebook saying that my account was suspended because some random person was not doing what they were supposed to be doing. And I'm like, who is this person? I have no idea who this person is. I tried everything. I tried contacting Facebook via their appeals at Facebook email. And to this day, I have yet to receive a response from Facebook. So, Facebook, shame on you, because why have an email and no one is going to be responding to that email? So I decided, I immediately contacted my friends and, told people in my community that my page was hacked, to not accept anything unless I personally notify them. Shortly after, I did create another page and I contacted, it was probably about 20 friends or so. I sent them the direct link, and people, slowly and surely, start adding me back, and I started getting new friends requests. But there was something about it that I just was like, maybe this is an opportunity for me to just pause, because when it comes to social media, I will be honest with you, and I would tell you that I would be on it randomly throughout the day, probably more than I should have. Just aimlessly, scrolling, wasting time, avoiding things that I should have been focusing on. So I decided to delete and deactivate that page also. I also deleted and deactivated Instagram, TikTok, Threads. So for those that know me, they know that sometimes I can go from 0 to 100 in the blink of an eye. And that's exactly what I did. I just decided to just eliminate all social media with the exception of LinkedIn. I kept that one. But here we are today. I do have a new Facebook account. I do have a new Instagram account with every possible authentication process and 2 steps and 3 steps and whatever steps there are, I am doing it. So, why do I share this? I share this because sometimes we feel like something bad is happening to us and that we're the only ones that are going through something. And I literally like struggled because I had a lot of people on my Facebook page, not just, family and close friends, but also people that were once strangers that became acquaintances and associates, and I'm now friends. And not just that, my page was connected to my business page. So my MRD Empowerment Solutions page is also non existent, and that broke my heart. I struggle with that one the most because it was something that was attached to all of the work that I have been doing over the years, pictures of the awards that I have received and the recognition, and the people that would send me private messages and say, hey, I listened to your podcast, or I read one of your chapters in the numerous anthologies that I've created, and I was moved. It helped me, and I don't have any of that anymore. So I struggled with that, but I took it as a sign that maybe there was a reason why my Facebook page was hacked and why I have to start over again. And I am being overly cautious as to who I accept as a friend. So if you're listening to this, make sure that you go over to LinkedIn and connect with me on LinkedIn, Marianne Rivera Dannert. And I will slowly be back to full blown social media, but it's going to take some time because having, you know, the fact that I was violated, that my privacy was interrupted. And again, it was social media. But again, I spent a lot of years and big mistake. I was using Facebook as like my photo storage. So I had about 8,000 photos. Yes, you heard that correctly. 8,000 photos. A majority of them, I will probably say about 75% of them were only views to me because whenever I would go on a trip, vacation, speaking engagement, I would, take photos on my phone, but then I would move all of that stuff over to Facebook and keep it private and share as needed. But all of that is gone. So I'm hoping that, Mark Zuckerberg or somebody from his appeals section department will go check my email and give me access back to my account. But focusing back on what we are talking about today. Sometimes when you're starting over again, it can be very hard and you have no idea, what is the first step that you should take. So I am going to share with you 7 actionable steps to embrace new beginnings. And I'm going to also tell you what the step is, an actionable tip to take. So, step number 1, reflect on where you are. And this is important because if you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. Reflection brings, clarity to where you've been and where you're going to go. You can't just say, okay, I want to wake up, one day and I want to be a millionaire. There are a lot of crucial steps between where you are today and seeing those 6 figures in your account, 7 figures, sorry. There are a lot of steps in there. So, what steps do you need to take? Reflect on where you are and where you are going. So, your actionable step is to take 30 minutes to journal and ask yourself, what lessons have you learned from your past? What do you want to leave behind? What is no longer serving you? what no longer served you in 2024 that you do not want to bring in with you in 2025. So for example, if you've been going through a tough relationship, reflect on the growth it's brought you and how it's shaped your values, and then move forward. Number 2, define your vision. And the reason is a clear vision acts as a roadmap to your new beginning. So you have to be clear. And your actionable step for step number 2 is to write a vision statement for the next 6 months. Start with, in this new chapter, I am. So, for example, in this new chapter, I am prioritizing my self care and building meaningful connections. And this is very important because this is actually a step that I started with once again, removing the second page that I created for Facebook and then starting a new one. And I'm being very mindful as to who I am accepting because sometimes we look at, the number of friends that we have on social media and we have, 2, 3,000, 4,000 friends. But the truth of the matter is that if you take some time to look at each individual, do you know anything personal about this person besides what's on social media? I would guess that the answer is probably no. And the question then is, why are you connected to this individual? If you don't know anything personal besides what's on social media, what is the point? So I want to build meaningful connections, meaningful relationships with people, not just follow them on social media, just so I can be able to say, oh, I have 6,000 friends, which I think the limit is actually 5,000. But you know what I mean. And I'm also prioritizing self care. I recently joined a gym and I actually started before January 1 because we all know January 1, everyone is at the gym, can't find a parking spot. And then by the third or fourth week of January, it is like a ghost town. So I joined a new gym and it's a very pricey luxury style gym. And I made that commitment to myself for one of two reasons. One, because I'm worth it. And two, sometimes when we pay a little more for something, when you kind of like, ooh, do I really want to spend this much money? You are more apt to actually do the thing versus not do it. Because how many of you, be honest, have joined the gym and you probably only gone 2 or 3 times? So you're making a donation for no reason. Like, make your money go somewhere. So I started that already. So make sure, again, let me know what step 2 means to you and what you're going to be doing. Step number 3, break it down into small steps. So break your goals, your whys, your reasons into small steps because big goals can sometimes feel overwhelming, where smaller steps can make them more achievable, more realistic. And when you start to achieve the smaller goals, making sure that they lead to your big goals, you have you walk with your shoulders, straight, back a little bit. Your posture is more confident. You are exuding more confidence. You're showing up more confident. So, this step is very important. So, make sure that you break down your big goals into small goals. So, your action step is to take your vision statement and create 3 small actionable steps for you to start. So, for example, if your goal is to focus on health, step 1 could be meal prepping. Step 2 could be a daily walk for about 10 minutes. And step 3 can be a bedtime routine. So, make sure that you take your big goal and then you break it down into small, achievable steps. Step number 4, let go of perfectionism. Why? Because waiting for the perfect moment or outcome can delay progress. There is nothing that you can possibly plan for that is going to go according to how you planned. Something is going to inevitably happen that is going to cause you to pause, it's going to cause you frustration. You're going to possibly become angry. You might give up. A whole host of things can happen. So, waiting for the perfect time It's never going to happen. So start today. Sometimes when you play mind tricks with yourself and you think that you're not ready, but you start focusing on being ready, your mind starts to think and act as if you've already achieved this thing. So, your actionable tip is start before you feel ready and embrace the mantra progress over perfection. So, for example, if you're starting a side hustle, focus on launching rather than perfecting every detail. You don't need a website to start a business. You don't need business cards to start a business. You need actual people that are going to invest to have a business. So, start there. Step number 5, cultivate a support system because your support system will keep you motivated and accountable. Your actionable step, share your new beginning with someone you trust. Join a community or an accountability group related to your goal. Sometimes we feel that if we do something or if we share something, a goal with someone, that they're going to, poo poo all over it, talk, about it, talk about you. And the truth of the matter is that your goal is your goal. And you should be speaking to people that you trust, people that will uplift you, people that are going to hold you accountable and be hard on you, but with love and care. They're going to be gentle, but they're not going to coddle you and they're not going to put up with your BS of excuses when they will show up. So make sure that you talk to people that you actually trust. So, for example, if you're building confidence, connect with a mentor or with a coach who's walked a similar path as the one that you have been through. Step number 6, celebrate small wins. The reason being is because acknowledging progress builds momentum. So, your actionable tip at the end of each week, write down 3 things that you've accomplished, no matter how small. For example, this week I applied for 2 new jobs, updated my resume, and practiced gratitude daily. When you focus on small things, it gives you, again, a boost of confidence. You feel more connected to your goal and you're celebrating yourself along the way. Because if you just go from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, without pausing to reflect, to make any shifts that may be needed, because sometimes we don't accomplish things because we think we're going to go from step 1 through step 10 and we forget about steps 2 through 9. And maybe at around step 3 or 4, you needed to make an adjustment. But because you didn't pause to reflect and to look at what you have accomplished so far, you missed that moment. And when you're steadily going from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, you have like this, drawer that you're just filling up with trinkets and with stuff and you're not enjoying what you have accomplished. So make sure that you pause and write down the things that you have accomplished because, again, no matter how small, it will make you feel better. And the final step, embrace the progress. And the reason being, growth happens in the journey, not just the destination. So, again, as you're moving along, celebrate and embrace everything that is going on. Your actionable tip is practice mindfulness daily to stay present and grounded. Try a 5-minute meditation or breathing exercise, and there are a lot of them on YouTube that you can follow and listen to. For example, reflect daily with what's one thing I learned today that's helping me in my new beginning. So make sure that everything that you are focused, everything that you are investing your resources in, and resources is your time, your effort, and money. Make sure that it is helping you grow in your new season as you take this bold new move to start fresh in 2025. New beginnings can sometimes feel daunting, but they're also exhilarating. You are capable of rewriting your story. You are more than capable of rewriting your story. So, recapping the 7 steps, start by evaluating where you are today, define your vision statement, define your vision, break your big vision into small steps. At the beginning, I said that you didn't have to do these in order, but you do have to actually do these in order. So break down your big vision into smaller steps. Number 4, let go of perfectionism. Number 5, cultivate a support system. Number 6, make sure that you celebrate small wins. And number 7, embrace the process. New beginnings, again, can feel daunting, but they can also be exhilarating, and you are capable of rewriting your story. Make sure that you choose one step and that you start today. Remember, you don't have to do it all, you just have to take that first step. Make sure that you follow the podcast, Fearless Fridays with Marianne, on your favorite platform, such as the one that you're listening to today. And connect with me on my website, mariannerivera.com, and share with me your beginning story. I look forward to connecting with you. Until next time, stay fearless, stay fabulous, and keep stepping into the bold, fearless, and fabulous person that you are created. And make sure that you remember that you are a priority and you matter. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please leave us a 5-star review and share with a friend or two. If you aren't already following us on social media, please connect with me on LinkedIn at Marianne Rivera Dannert or visit our website, mariannerivera.com. I will catch you next week with a brand new episode, and remember that you are a priority and you matter.